Hello and welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Show. I am your host, Jay Jones. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the Black community by promoting business ownership. If you are currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, we invite you to join us every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint.
Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 285. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Now, today, family, is the last episode of 2019. We're about to move into a new decade in 2020 in just a few days. And today's show topic is planning for business success in 2020, the BEB Business Model Canvas. Planning for business success in 2020, the BEB Business Model Canvas. Now, before we get to today's episode, I just want to share a few things with the BEB family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family, and please stick around until the end of today's episode, and I'm going to share all of my social media contact information and all of my resource links, such as my new book, A New Black Wall Street, and also the 2 platforms I've created to help circulate Black dollars worldwide in the Black community. Okay, family, let's get into today's episode, Planning for Business Success in 2020, the BEB Business Model Canvas. Now, what a business model canvas is, it's actually a template for developing a new business or documenting an existing business. So this BEB Business Model Canvas is good for anybody. So if you're thinking about starting a business, I recommend that you download it. It's free. And if you already have a business, it's going to start to make you think about how your business is set up and ways that you can improve your business. So before I forget, guys, just go to bebconnect.com, BEB, like Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, connect.com. If you scroll down a little bit, about a quarter of the way down the page, you'll actually see an image that'll say the BEB Business Model Canvas, and there'll be a link right under that image. Just click on that link, and it's going to take you to a landing page where you just put in your email, and then it'll actually deliver the business model canvas directly to your email account. So bebconnect.com, and please download it. It's free, and it will definitely help you out. So what we're going to talk about today is actually the business model canvas, and then we're going to talk about a few additional things that you may want to do to start out 2020 on a positive fashion. So with the business model canvas, is broken down into different sections, and once you download it, you'll be able to see it. But I want to just go through a couple of the sections for you, and just to let you know or give you an idea of what to expect once you download it. So the first thing is, what do you do? What is your value proposition? Now, many times people call it an elevator speech or whatever, but what is your value proposition? And what amazes me sometimes is when you ask people what their value proposition is, they can't explain it to you. And I've said this in several of the other episodes, but here's an easy way to create your value proposition, or what do you do? If somebody says, hey, what do? You can use this formula. And the formula is, I help A do B by C. And all you have to fill in is the A, B, and C. So I help Black entrepreneurs build successful businesses by helping them implement proven business systems. I help A do B by C. So what do you do, and what is your value proposition? So that's one of the things that's on the business model canvas. Another thing is, how do you do it? What are your key activities? What activities do your value proposition require? does your value proposition require? Okay, so if you're helping people do certain things, what does that require? What activities are the most important in terms of revenue, distribution, marketing, and etc.? So how do you do it is another question that's going to be asked on the business model canvas. Who do you help? Who's your audience? Okay. Many times as I coach and consult people, I can sell this product to anybody. So when you have that mindset, that means your product isn't for anybody at all. You need to focus on who your product is for. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. It says it right in the name. Black entrepreneurs. That's who I focus on. That's who I help. Another question is, how do you interact with your audience? Okay, what platforms do you communicate with your audience? And there's only 3 ways to communicate with your audience, guys. It's written, oral, or visual. Okay, if it's written, it could be a blog, email, articles, newsletter, or whatever. Oral, it could be a podcast, audio book, and visual, obviously, video. Another section in the business model canvas is who will help you? Who are your key partners or alliances? So who can you work with or partner with to reach your audience? Okay, so if you are a bicycle shop, right, you may be able to work with a bicycle manufacturer or something like that. But you want to find out who will help you. Who are your key partners or alliances that you can form that are going to move your business forward? Also, key resources. What do you need? This is one of the biggest things when I coach people is that they know what they need to do, but they've yet to figure out the resources that they need to get it done. It's like trying to build a house with a screwdriver and a hammer, right? You're going to need more tools than that. So what are the resources you need? What do you need to get the job done? What key resources does your value proposition require? So my value proposition was I help out Black entrepreneurs build successful businesses by implementing proven business systems. All right. So what do I have to get? What's required for me to do that? Do I need a website? Do I need domain names? Do I need software? Do I need whatever? But you need to understand what you need, your key resources, because if you don't have the tools to do business, you're not going to be doing business. You got to have the tools to do business. So far, and what we're talking about today, guys, is planning for business success in 2020, the BEB Business Model Canvas. Once again, a business model canvas is a template for new businesses, or it's documenting an existing business. And the philosophy behind it is really to make you think out. And it's one sheet of paper, but it makes you think and plan your business. Okay, so I recommend please go to bebconnect.com, look for the BEB Business Model Canvas link, click the link, and it'll go straight to your email once you fill in your email information. Another section in the business model canvas is what will it cost? What's your cost structure? Okay, what are the most important costs in your work? What key resources or activities are the most expensive? So a lot of times when we go into a business, we don't really have a handle on what the true cost of doing business is. And you can put down and write down as many business plans as you want to, but you will never know the true cost of the business or the cost structure until you get in the business and start mixing around and doing the business. Okay. And one of the other parts of the actual business model canvas is how much will you make? Now, we just talked about cost structure. Now we're going to talk about revenue streams. For what value is your audience willing to pay? How do they recently pay? How would they prefer to pay? Okay. How much does every revenue stream contribute to your overall revenue? And so those are most of the major questions or factors on the business model canvas. And once again, guys, I recommend go to bebconnect.com, look for the image of the business model canvas and click the link below that. It'll take you to a landing page, put your email in. And once you put your email in, you will get a direct download. So you'll have the business model canvas right in front of you. So please make sure that you do that. So today, guys, we're talking about planning for business success in 2020, the BEB Business Model Canvas. Some of the questions that it's going to ask you is, what do you do? That's your value proposition. I help A do B by C. How do you do it? Those are your key activities. Who do you help? Who's your audience? Who are you serving? It's also going to ask, how do you interact with your audience? How do they like to be contacted? Okay, and you can only do 3 types of contacts: written, oral, or visual, or a combination thereof. Who will you help? Okay, who will help you? Key partners and alliances. What do you need? What are your key resources that you need to be successful in your business? What will it cost? What's your cost structure? And how much will you make, obviously, which is your revenue streams. I also wanted to share some tips and resources that I've used over the years to help keep my business in order. So what I see as a coach and a consultant is, I see a lot of times that, especially new entrepreneurs, they don't really keep track of their expenditures. Okay. And so you definitely want to make sure that you do that, guys, because if you can write off a lot of the actual expenses that you have. So something just as simple as somebody ordering a product from you, you having to go to the store and pay for postage. So that mileage or that gas that you get, a percentage of that can be written off. So make sure that you maximize those opportunities. And one of the tools that I use is QuickBooks. Now, QuickBooks is actually for entrepreneurs. It's for businesses, and you can customize it to the type of business you have, but it actually tracks all of your expenses. And one of the great things is it actually can link up to your bank account. So what you do is you set up what's called a chart of accounts. So accounts payable. So if you know that you pay your internet bill every month to Xfinity or Verizon or whatever, when QuickBooks sees a charge that says Verizon internet service, they're going to put that under that chart of accounts, meaning that you don't have to sit there and figure out at the end of the year how much money you spent on internet access. Okay. So if you're buying office supplies, you go to Staples, it'll actually chart that as office supplies. So now at the end of the year, you have a P&L, profit and loss statement, without you sitting there trying to go through receipts and all of that good stuff. All right. So QuickBooks, but I do recommend that you do keep your receipts. All right. You always want to keep your receipts, guys. And what I do is I break it down and I have envelopes for each month. So if I go on an appointment or a meeting or whatever, and I'm getting gas, I keep that receipt. I jot down on it, go into a meeting with such and such at such and such time. I just keep it in there, being very anal. So make sure that you have a software like QuickBooks or something else, whatever you want to use to track your expenses. Some other software that I use for my business is ClickFunnels and Lead Pages. ClickFunnels I use to build funnels, sales funnels for my physical and digital products. Same thing with Lead Pages, more landing pages with just lead pages. Also, you want to have an email autoresponder. I did a show called The Money is in the List, and it damn sure is. So you need to have an email autoresponder to be able to create and gather names. Okay, so you need to be able to build your database up. Okay, obviously you need a website for your business and or product. Now, if you have a business that you don't really sell under that business name, say, I'll give you a perfect example. One of my business names, right? NX Level Marketing. All right, I don't even have a website for that because what I sell under there is my branded products. So I don't sell anything NX Level Marketing. All I do is I sell my brands under that corporate umbrella or that LLC umbrella, domain names and all that good stuff. So everything that you do, guys, it costs money as an entrepreneur. And I was talking to one of the Brand Builder Academy guys yesterday or the day before yesterday, and I was just telling them how much money that I end up spending on domain names, website hosting, and all of that. And last year I spent, it was like $2,800 because I got over like 175 domain names. That's real estate, so don't slip on that. That's real estate, guys. I have hosting. I have so many different websites and all of that. So it adds up. I have, my software like ClickFunnels and Lead Pages. I use ConvertKit for my email autoresponder. So all of that stuff adds up, guys. So please make sure that you keep track of that so you can write that off or percentage of that off. Now, in terms of resources, if you're an entrepreneur, you need to have a serious CPA or just an accountant to help you make sure that you understand what you're doing. You don't want to do your taxes on your own. Several reasons. Number one, you want a professional to do it. And I'm not talking about going to H&R Block, all right? I'm talking about a professional business accountant, somebody that specializes in accounting for entrepreneurs and businesses, okay? Anybody can go on H&R Block's website and they'll ask you specific deductions and all that, but that's baby talk. All right? You need somebody that's a professional that knows the ins and outs. That's not going to get you jammed up, with your accounting. And a short story, just to let you know that can happen. When I started one of my first businesses, I was referred to a gentleman that used to do taxes. I think it was at H&R Block or one of these places. And he was a good dude, older brother. Yeah, I can do your business taxes for you, blah, 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 blah. And me not knowing that, this isn't really good because his price was good, man, about 4 or 5 years later, I'm like, hold on, man, some of this stuff doesn't even seem right. So I go get my new CPA, Thane Martin, who I've interviewed on the show before. And he looks at my stuff over the last couple of years. And he's like, bruh, this is jacked up, man. And he said, we got to do this right. He said, so what's going to happen is once I correct these tax returns, you're going to owe about $25,000 to $30,000. He said, but it's better to have it right. And you go to the IRS as opposed to them auditing you. And now you all jammed up. So that was a lesson learned. It was about $28,000 I owed the IRS. And if I continued with the guy that was doing my taxes, man, I don't know what it would have been, because once again, you get all those penalties and all that type of stuff. So he was like, yo, let's correct this now, get everything straight. And from now on, you're going to be on point. So don't sleep on people that you need on your team. So find a good CPA or business accountant. If you're doing enough business, put a lawyer on retainer or do one of these legal plans or whatever. Prepaid legal. I think they call it something else now, but something that's going to protect you. So you need to build up your team. All right. So those are just some of the things that you're going to need. And I really just want to stress to you guys, make sure that you're anal when it comes to your business expenses. Connect with somebody that knows what they're doing. And please, if you got a business, make sure that you're protected. Have an LLC or some type of corporate formation. Don't do it just under your name, because once again, now you could be personally liable if something happens. OK, and we're in a litigious society where people will sue you over anything. Now, before I share what to expect from Black Entrepreneur Blueprint and Jay Jones in 2020, I just want to give out my contact information and resources. So if you need to connect with me on Facebook, go to Facebook, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. You'll find me there. Instagram, Jay Jones for real. That's JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. Twitter, you can find me at JJones001, JAYJONES 001. YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have additional content that is not on the show, and I'm going to be talking about that once I give this contact information, because my YouTube channel coming 2020, we got a whole lot of plans for that, and we'll be doing a whole lot of content, additional content on the YouTube channel. So go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and subscribe to that. Now, email anything long, hit me at jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, JAYJONES @blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Now, let me talk about some of the resources, okay? First and foremost, my new book is out of New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. So you can go to anewblackwallstreet.com. You can pick yourself up the digital version, which is good on any book reader, Kindle, or anything else. And you have the opportunity to get the physical book itself. $14.95 plus shipping and handling for the physical book, $9.95 for the digital version. Also, in addition to A New Black Wall Street, I've created a compatible online course to help you build a successful, sustainable e-commerce business. And you can go to educatedecommerce.com, educatedecommerce.com, and enroll in the course. Now, I always talk about how we need to circulate the dollar in the black community. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint is about building an economic power base in the worldwide black economy. And to help us do that, I've created two platforms. The first one is besmartbyblack.com, besmartbyblack.com. That is a platform for black product producers to upload your products on so you can connect with black consumers worldwide. It is free to upload your products, so go to besmartbyblack.com. Now, if you are a freelancer, anybody that does stuff on Fiverr or freelancer.com, I've created a platform similar to Be Smart by Black called hireblackfreelancers.com, HIRE, blackfreelancers.com. Put your information up there, and now you can connect with black businesses and black consumers that want to hire a black freelancer. Now, I know I said a whole lot, but if you go to BEB Connect, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Connect, just go to bebconnect.com. All of the information for my social media contacts and also for my resources and also for the BEB Business Model Canvas. So please make sure you go to bebconnect.com and everything will be there. You have the links to my social media contacts. You have all the links to my resources. And please make sure that you get your BEB Business Model Canvas. It's free. Just click on that link and it'll take you to a landing page. Put in your email address and it'll deliver it right to you. Now, I just want to close out with what to expect from Black Entrepreneur Blueprint and Jay Jones in 2020. So I always take about the last week of the year to really plan. And I've done episodes and I always talk about think, create, and execute. That's all an entrepreneur does. Think, you create, and then you execute. Problem is most people have issues with the execution aspect. So, think, create, and execute. So I do a lot of thinking. Even once a week, I take several hours, usually on a Monday or a Friday, and I use it just to think and game plan. But I usually try to focus on maybe three things at a time, three major things that I want to get done in the next year. Because I know a lot of times we have so many different ideas, but three major things that I'm looking to do next year are number one, to increase my YouTube content. I know video is where it's at. A lot of times, well, not a lot of times, video is the highest form of content, which can be broken down into audio. But I'm just setting up a new studio now for video. So in 2020, we're going to be coming out with more YouTube content, which is going to be different from the podcast content. Yes, the podcast is on YouTube, but there'll be additional content. And these are going to be smaller chunks of content, actionable content that you're going to be able to see. So I'm looking really to build that YouTube platform up for Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Also, obviously, I want to increase the podcast listenership. I'm going to be doing some more advertising and outreach. I'm going to start to do more interviews. People ask me to be on their shows all the time. My time constraints are crazy, but I'm going to start doing more outreach for the podcast so I can extend the reach of the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint podcast. One of the things, guys, you always got to believe in what you're doing. And so if I didn't believe in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the podcast, and the message and the movement that we're trying to get out there, I wouldn't even be sitting behind this mic right now. But I know we as a people, we need to elevate. All right. We need to make sure that we're financially stable. We're, like Dame Dash said, you hustling for your last name, not your first. And it's hard to do that when you're working for somebody else that's going to cap your salary, that's going to have control of the purse strings. So entrepreneurship to me is freedom. OK, yeah, it can be tough. It can be crazy. But that's really what we need to do to get ourselves in the situation we need to be in. So I'm looking to increase the listenership of the podcast. Also, I'm looking to do more speaking. So if you need to, I forgot to put this out there, but if you want to connect with me or have me come out to your church, organization, university, school, or whatever for my book talk or any type of lecture or speaking, just go to bookjjones.com, bookjayjones.com, bookjjones.com. It's a short form, and make sure you just fill it out, and I'll get right back to you. I'll be in Charlotte, March 14th, State of Black Charlotte. I'll be doing a workshop there. I got some other things coming up in April and May, and I'll keep you guys posted on that. So in addition to increasing my speaking engagements, I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, 2020 is going to be the year of your genius. So what I'm trying to focus on is trying to help every person live in their genius, which is the intersection of your passion and your talent. To me, that's the greatest gift that I can help somebody get. If I can teach you how to monetize that. Okay. So, and I think we have one more spot left for Genius Training 2020. So if you want to be a part of that, go to Genius Training 2020.com. It starts January 7th, and it's a 2-part session, 2 hours on January 7th and 2 hours on January 14th. And it's going to help you learn how to monetize your genius. So most people know what their passions and talents are. You get stuck on the monetization, and that's what we're going to focus on. So you can go to geniustraining2020.com for that. So I just wanted to mention that we have one spot left out of the 10 spots that were initially available. So those are some of the things, guys, you can look forward to from Black Entrepreneur Blueprint in 2020 and myself. So once again, I'm trying to get the reach out for the podcast and also the YouTube channel. I'm really trying to push Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius. The book is just about done, and it's going to be a lot of complimentary things around the book. And also, I almost forgot too, my book, A New Black Wall Street, I want to do 50,000 copies this year in sales. And most of that, I guess, is probably going to come from speaking and things like that. I've had a couple of universities and major bookstores and libraries reach out to me to carry the book. So, it's tough when you got so many things that you're trying to do. But that's why I want to focus on 3 or 4 things this year, big time. And I'm also going to start delegating some more stuff to my virtual assistant. I may have to get another virtual assistant. But so look forward for Black Entrepreneur Blueprint to get out there even further. We're trying to spread this good word. We're trying to get this movement going. We want people to buy black and understand the importance of why we need to start and support black-owned businesses. Start and support. So one of the things I always try to do is I try to support as many black-owned businesses as I can each week. Okay? So once again, it's a conscious effort. Like Be Smart, Buy Black. It's a conscious decision. So if we don't think about it, we're not going to do it. And I know I've said this on several different episodes of the podcast, but I'm going to close out with this. All right. So the average spending on black businesses in the African American community is 2% of your expenditures. That's 2%. Okay. Out of 100% of the money that you have to spend, you only spend 2% of that in black owned businesses. So my question to you is, how the hell are these businesses going to stay open? And if the businesses don't stay open, how are they going to employ us? Okay. We running around like nuts over here for this stupid ass Popeye's chicken sandwich. Like nobody ever had a chicken sandwich before. Yeah, I said it. It's just dumb as hell. And I can't even understand people giving that much shine to a company, once again, that don't even really care about us. Okay. And it's not a black owned company. They may be a couple of franchisees in there. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a black owned company just because they showed Jerry Rice years ago with a chicken wing in his football helmet. And then the sister that they got on the commercials right now. It's not a black owned company. All right. So my thing is, stop giving shine to other companies on social media and doing all of that silly stuff when you could be giving shine to black owned businesses. If we don't support our own, we're not going to exist. Okay. And we need to have that economic power. Economics rules the world, family. It rules politics. It rules media. It rules education. It rules everything around you. But if you're beholden for somebody to pay you $1, then guess what? Whoever's paying you has control over you. So how many of these stars know what, they have a great following and they're conscious, but they can't say or do certain things because they know that the hand that feeds them is going to smack them on the behind if they go out of line. So when you have your own money, when you create your own money, you can do and say as you please. Okay. The great Bessie Smith, the singer, she said, she had a quote, I'm paraphrasing, everything I got was got with black money, because that was her audience. My book, A New Black Wall Street, chronicles that. The one in Tulsa, the one in Durham. There were so many pockets of successful black-owned communities. Okay. Now we can do the same thing with e-commerce. That's what A New Black Wall Street is about. That's what my book is about. It's a worldwide economy. So we need to start to understand and be conscious and spend more than 2% of our income or resources on black businesses. And this was the example that I was going to give. So if you're in corporate America and you get paid by direct deposit on a Friday or every other Friday, let's just say you net $1,000 a week every Friday. So Friday morning you wake up, your money's already in your account, and it's probably in a white bank, not a black bank. Okay. United One Bank, largest black owned bank. We got to start banking black too. So you wake up, your money is in probably some white bank, right? So now you get up on your way to work. Oh, let me stop and get gas. Remember, you got $1,000 net today. Let me stop and get gas and let me grab a sandwich or some coffee, right? You put $25 of gas in your car, maybe $10 on a sandwich and coffee or whatever. You put $35. Let's round it up. Yeah, let's just say $35, right? So you spent $35. Now you get to work. You're having a good time at work. Oh, it's lunchtime. Let's hang out. Oh, yeah, we're going to go to this new spot for lunch. So you already spent $35 in the morning. Now you spend another $25 at lunch, right? So that's $60. Okay, go back to work. Work is over. Oh, you know what? A couple of the guys and coworkers are going out for some dinner, and some drinks. All right, 5 o'clock. All right, let's go. Go out for dinner and drinks, right? You over there getting it in, chopping it up or whatever. You spend another $40 at least there. So what you've actually spent was $100 out of that $1,000, right? And the question I have to ask you is, how much of that was spent with a black-owned business? The gas station you probably went to that morning to get gas probably wasn't black-owned. You probably got your coffee and stuff from, a convenience store or Dunkin' Donuts, which probably wasn't owned by a black franchisee. You went out to lunch at whatever, Fridays, Ruby Tuesdays, or some other restaurant, which probably wasn't black owned. And then when you did your happy hour and stuff and dinner after work, the establishment you went to probably wasn't black owned either. So you spent $100 that day before you even get home out of that $1,000 that was in your direct deposit. So you spent 10% of your money already before you even got home, and not a dime was spent with a black owned business. That's the problem, y'all. That's the problem. Don't sit here and wait for anybody else to save us. We have the capacity and the ability and the intelligence to do so. So my question to you, in 2020, are you going to make a difference? Are you going to make a conscious effort to build and support black-owned businesses? We got to do it. That's what the movement is all about, man. Building and supporting black-owned businesses, building that economy that we can then take. If we move as a group, we can take and we can influence politics, pay for play. We can influence education. Oh, these schools aren't any good. Let's create our own schools. Okay. Oh, we can influence the media. We're sitting around here, watching everybody else's channel. We on Twitter and all these social media apps like crazy. How come we can't create an app? We always are so ready to settle to get on somebody else's stuff as opposed to creating our own. There's two sides of every transaction. You either a consumer or a producer. A consumer or a producer. And guess where we fall? Consumers. Some marketing nerd was sitting back there talking about, yo, we gonna do this Popeye's chicken sandwich thing, and we're gonna watch these fools go crazy. Watch them go. I wouldn't try that chicken sandwich if somebody put 10 of them in front of my face for free, just because of what it represents. You know what I mean? Just because of that. You got black folk lined up around the corner for a freaking chicken sandwich, and or the new Jordans that come out, and won't line up to go vote, won't line up to go into a black restaurant. And you talking about what's going on? What's going on is we're not conscious of what we're doing. We've been so inundated or so trained to do the normal things, which quote unquote really aren't normal for us, because our history, our heritage, our culture has always been communal. Okay, it's always been communal. But when we got stripped of everything, they stripped of us of that too. All these other ethnicities, once again, stick together. They're going to walk past 10 restaurants to get to the Jewish deli. That Asian cat's going to go all the way downtown in Center City, Philly at the Reading Terminal to support that Korean grocer. We're going to go to the first store that we see. Why? Because we're not conscious of what we're doing. Or we're conscious and just don't care. Okay, so 2020, y'all, let's make a difference, man. Let's build black businesses. Let's support black businesses. Let's get out there and get this movement out there. Start making a concerted effort to shop for, at black-owned businesses. Start putting the money back in our own community like everybody else does. Okay, so we also need to start focusing on our mind. Garbage in is garbage out. You put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. You can't put garbage in and think you're going to get something positive or good out. So be conscious of what goes in your mind. The images, the music, the words, the books, whatever you're doing, put in some positive stuff so positive things will come out. And I'm going to close on this, and I know I'm going on a little rant, but it's 2019 coming to an end. We got to make a change in 2020. All you parents out there, right? We all want better for our children. So in order for our children to do better, we got to show them how to do better. Be it with education, be it with finances, be it with entrepreneurship. So I know, and trust me, been there, done that. I know a lot of times we just trying to maintain because we got kids, we got to work, we got to do that. We're just inundated with things we have to do. But if we don't feed our children, if we don't teach our children what's important, to be conscious, to understand that our actions have a definitive impact on what happens in the future. What we do today impacts what we look like tomorrow. So if I sit here and drink 12, a couple 6-packs a day for the next 6 months, you think I'm going to have 6-pack abs? Nah. So what we do today affects what happens tomorrow. So if you can instill the positive things into your children, financial literacy, exercise, mental, physical, spiritual, controlling all of that, showing them positive images on television, and I'm talking about younger kids. When you get to a certain age, you're going to do whatever you want. But the whole key is to get the kids when they're young. So like one of the things that we did, like soda, that's sugar water. It's one of the worst things that you could ever drink. We never had soda in the house. The only time we had soda was on holidays or special occasions, or if we were mixing it with a drink or something. All right. And that's real talk. But we never had our kids on soda because we knew it was garbage. So one of the things too, guys, that a lot of successful people do is they clear out toxicity in their lives. And it could be toxic people, which can include family. It could be toxic situations. It could be toxic behavior. Clearing out toxicity. That's another one of my things, right, that I'm focusing on 2020. I don't want to deal with nothing toxic. If it's not elevating me, I'm not even dealing with it. I'm not talking to you. I'm not messing with it because I'm trying to level up. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint 2020 coming at you, family. Hey, I just want to say this before we close out. Each and every week we get more and more downloads, and that is attributed to you, the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. I'm trying to make 2020 go crazy with the movement, with the podcast, with the YouTube channel. I need you guys' help, man. So please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the blog, and everything that I got going on, because once again, it's all about community. It's about elevating the community, building an economic power base in the Black community, the worldwide Black community. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.